This is Raptor News, and this is the absolute truth. When the Bible is talking about the flesh, it is talking about Gentiles. When the Bible is talking about the Spirit, it is talking about Hebrews. It doesn't mean that the flesh cannot be good or act good, and the Spirit, or those in the Spirit or born of the Spirit, cannot act evil. And so today we're going to get into the flesh versus the Spirit versus the image of the beast. We're going to expose a lot of stuff right here. And so I would pay attention. Galatians 5:19-21 says the works of the flesh are evident. When it says flesh, it's talking about Gentiles. And when it's talking about Gentiles, it is saying this is their inherent nature. No matter how they act, this is what's inside. And again, this is 100% the truth. Bear with me if you're ignorant. So, sexual immorality, that's their nature. Impurity, lustful, idolatry. All the gods of the Gentiles are what? Idols. Sorcery. The Gentiles sacrifice to what? Devils. Hostility. Why does the heathen rage? You're going to start hearing it all. Quarreling, jealousy, anger, selfish, dissension, division, envy, drunkenness, and wild parties. Right? This is the inherent nature of a Gentile. And no matter how ill the Hebrew may act, he is born of the Spirit. One is born of the flesh. So this is the Gentiles of the flesh, and these are the Gentiles' works. This is how God look at it, because he's the creator. The fruits of the Spirit. If God breathed his Spirit, so when God breathed his Spirit into Adam and Eve, they was minding their own damn business at peace in the garden. Right? Until the Gentile came and lured them out. The fruits of the Spirit is love, joy, peace. Just like I said, you got to call a dime a dime. Patience, kindness, self-control, gentleness, goodness, faithfulness. These are the fruits of the Spirit. Doesn't mean that you cannot act out and act stupid. Neither does it mean that a Gentile can act good. It is what it is. Let's get into it or go further. Ephesians 2:11. Therefore remember that at one time you Gentiles in the flesh, called the uncircumcision by what is called the circumcision. So watch this. You are Gentiles in the flesh. What does it mean? You are of the Gen race inside the flesh. So the Gen is inside your flesh. And that's why they call it wolf in sheep's clothing. Why? Because you can pretend to be something you're not. Let's keep going. Romans 8:5-7. For those who live according to the flesh set their minds on the things of the flesh. Why? Because that's how they were created. This is their inherent nature. For those who live according to the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. Why? You're going to go to God because that's your inherent nature. For to be carnally minded is death. And what it says, when the Gentiles sin, they will be put to death, right? I'm going to destroy all the Gentile nations. We're just making sense of it all, man. Because it actually makes sense. But to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Watch this. And all the Hebrews had an everlasting salvation and covenant with God. The Gentiles were doomed to the fire from the beginning because of their inherent evil nature. They were born in sin. And it says, because their carnal mind is enmity against God. For it is not subject to the law of God, nor indeed can it be, because you were created crooked. Let's get into that, man. Hear me out today. Job 26:13. By his spirit he has garnished the heavens. His hands have formed the crooked serpent. The Gentile. Lucifer, Satan, their progeny. The beast of the field. All the same thing. For the fruits of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and in truth. And so the Gentiles we know across worldwide in this Christianity, Catholic Church, Mormons, blah, 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 whatever they into, is bullshit, man. It's false religion. Because they are not spiritually discerned. They cannot discern things of the Spirit because they don't have one. I want y'all to hear me out. They don't have one. So when you go have a Gentile son or daughter, or you breed with the Gentile, this is what you're creating. Somebody who's going to fake it. They're going to fake it. It's not their inherent nature. Their inherent nature is naturally evil. Let's keep going. John 3:6-7. That which is born of the flesh is flesh. You cannot make it spiritual. And that which is born of the Spirit is spiritual. It's spirit. You can't make it flesh. Those with the Spirit seek out God. Those in the flesh seek out idols. That's why they worship the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's why they say Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. That's why they can't let go of the nation's false idols. Black, white, yellow, green, and brown. They come in all colors. Right? Gentiles. We worship one God. And that one God is Lord. And he has none by his side. Right? He created the earth and the heavens and everything alone. He don't need a partner. There was no God formed or begotten or anything, says the Torah. And so this is what we listen to. Not that there ain't truth in the Bible. It is. Lo, this only have I found, that God has made man, and we find out Gentiles are not men. They are jinn. Meaning what? Demons or devils. Crooked serpents. And that's why I said, who have informed you, serpents, salvation, when you were doomed to the fire. Lo, this only have I found, that God has made a man upright. What do you mean? By the Spirit you righteous. But they have sought out many inventions, meaning that they're capable of going astray. Doing anything. Right? So we got the story of Adam and Eve. They were straight, but they can be led into temptation. And that's why I said, lead us not into temptation. Right? Jesus answered, verily, verily, I say unto thee. This is where the problem comes in. Except a man be born of the Spirit, he can't enter into the kingdom of God. So where was Adam and Eve? It was in the garden. Where were the Gentiles? They were on earth. They was on earth before man was even formed. Right? They had nations before man. They always had to jump on us. Let's think about this, man. Psalms 2:1-2. Why do the heathen rage? See, these words are interchangeable, so the natural word that is used is heathen. Why do these nations rage and the people plot a vain thing? For all the works of the Gentile is vanity. They understand the material world. They cannot discern the things of the Spirit naturally. If you are Gentile and you really believe you can discern the things of the Spirit, go check your DNA. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord. So these nations are what? Against God. They crooked. That's why they say crooked serpent, because you can't make them straight. and against his anointed. So what? They war against what? Those who have the Spirit. And that's why they broke. What was the reason why the Gentiles tore down Jerusalem? Because we went to war with them? They hated us for that? No. They tore down Jerusalem because you had the Spirit and you was promised the kingdom and they wasn't. Right? But as then he that was born after the flesh persecutes him that was born after the Spirit, even so it is now. It's still happening. Even right now as I'm talking, all these Gentiles, black, white, yellow, green, and brown, all they do is try to come persecute me and those in here that believe with me. Why? Because we know the truth. We're in the truth. And we of the Spirit. They know that they are liars. They know that they are liars. And they all doomed to the fucking fire. Unless they can act better. Right? They can use their intelligence and act better. Because God did give them intelligence. Keep going. Watch, now they get exposed right here. 1 Timothy 3:16. And without controversy, great is the mystery of godliness. For God was manifest in the flesh. What are Gentiles? The flesh. And then what it said? Just for being in the flesh, you already enemies with God. Then how can God be manifest in the enemy's clothes? See? How is God coming as a white man in a Hebrew book? Infiltrated, huh? Justified in the Spirit, seen of the angels. If he is God, he made the angels. Preached unto the Gentiles. The Gentiles don't discern anything of the Spirit. Why would something be preached to them? See? How it all get monkey fuck screwed backwards. Believed on in the world when God, friends with the world is in enmity with God. Recede on up into glory. All glory and praise belong to the Most High God. They gave it to what? Their little image of the beast. You exposed. Okay, let's keep going. 1 Maccabees 3:4-8. And the Gentiles laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their image. What book did they paint the likeness of their image in? It said the Torah. Why? You got Donnell and all these Torah only stupid motherfuckers, man, preaching that Torah is the truth. And they don't know. The white man has desecrated both books. And well do they know it. When you read it, just like I said, I expose it. They say God is the son because they painted their sun God in there. They said what? God is a man of war. God is coming in the flesh. See, watch this. Watch. Jesus Christ and the Torah is the same. Just because they worded it a little different. Watch this. Here's Jesus Christ. Behold, I am the great morning star. Right? What is the great morning star? The sun, huh? You know, Jesus Christ is God in the flesh. Right? A God. God sitting next to God, right? Now watch this. God is the sun in the Torah. What's the fucking difference? None. God is a man of war in the Torah. And then what is he in the Bible? Think not that I've come to bring peace, but a sword. And I've come to turn men at variance with each other. So y'all come to cause some shit, man. And so they painted the likeness of their image in the book. So they made God a man of war. Gentiles are warmongers. Watch this. Romans 1:23. And they changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into the image made like corruptible man. Just you think it, huh? Just you think it. Just you think it. If any of you got a brain, you could put all of it together, huh? So what's happening? They was corrupted from the beginning. They can't do no good. Everything they get in their little crummy little hands, they screw it all up. They have killed and murdered. They wait everywhere around the world. All they do is warmonger. This is how they live as Gentiles, off the blood of others. They like vampires. This is the truth. What do you think the ones in the hood do versus the ones on Wall Street? There's no difference from them. Well, these ones are more well-to-do because they're wearing suits, selling drugs on Wall Street. You got all these big banks selling drugs. Gentiles act like Gentiles no matter what color they are. And so you got the dark ones selling drugs in the hood. You got the white ones selling drugs on Wall Street. You got them importing. They got ships, they got planes, they got submarines that they are taking it from Colombia and Mexico and all these other Afghanistan nations. They went out and killed all them people in Afghanistan and started growing poppy out there, huh? Fucking drug dealers, murderers, liars, thieves. What's the difference between them and a gangbanger? Except they do things on a wider scale. Murder on a wider scale. They didn't kill millions and y'all didn't kill hundreds. Come on, we need to get up off of this shit. The Gentile is the problem of the fucking world. Even if you're a Gentile, your inherent nature is what? It told you. Galatians 5:19-21. Sexual immorality, impurity, lustful, idolatry, sorcery, hostility, quarreling, jealousy, anger, selfish. Y'all think that's human. No, that's jinn. That's demonic. Dissension, division, envy, drunkenness, wild parties. You missing the spirit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, faithfulness, goodness, gentleness, self-control. You can pretend to do that, but your inherent nature, as God is saying, is wicked. And our inherent nature, the 10% of us worldwide, so if the world got 40 billion people in it, which it don't, you know, we would probably be 30,000. This is Wrap the News.